I do think though that there is things lost in the history books. Me, in my personal opinion, I do think that black people were the first people of the planet. So in turn, black people were
Yeah,
the first Jews, in my
that's
own
different.
opinion.
That's
Hmm.
different though, because then everybody is black. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not really a good argument for me because everybody came from Mesopotamia, like 100%. It's proven scientifically.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
but then people, they moved to different places. Like, of course, the first people were black. Like,
Hmm.
if you go far enough, if you go back enough, everyone's black.
Hmm.
But
So,
like they moved, and the people from that region are different enough
mhm.
where the origin, they're from Israel, and that's not Africa. It's the Middle East. So like, it's like
uh,
a different.
I see what you're saying. The point of what I'm
Yeah,
saying is that Kyrie Irving and what he was trying to do was he was trying to shed light on the information that we as black people should be more informed about our history and what happened in the past.
right.
In my opinion,
I think he just
I
made a mistake that
I
he
think
did.
so
It's a
too.
documentary.
Yeah, yeah.
He should have picked
Let
a
me
fucking different documentary.
Yeah, let me finish my point though.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think Kyrie Irving, I do agree with you to an extent where he probably didn't do the homework and see if there's any anti-Semitic views, and I understand that. But I think there's a bigger issue at large here. I think that this is an opportunity for Kyrie Irving is a guy who's known to speak out against the norm, think outside the box, and he's a guy that is trying to shed light on the information. And one of those is the secret societies of America, the elites of the elites. I personally believe that there's secret societies in this world. And now this is a perfect guy to Kyrie Irving, a guy who's a good citizen, who's an outstanding human being, who does nothing but preach love and caring to one another. This is a perfect opportunity for them to diminish his image so that people will not listen to him anymore. Because he's a guy that thinks outside the box. He's a guy that doesn't think within the confines of what the social norms are. And this is a perfect opportunity where this is how strategic that they fucking work. What they're gonna do is they're gonna connect Kyrie Irving to something of extreme negative value like anti-Semitism. And us as human beings are negative, I mean, are visual creatures. So when we see Kyrie Irving and something in that negative light, in our unconscious mind are going to start viewing Kyrie and his name in a negative light. And that's what they're doing to Kyrie Irving. This is more about trying to diminish him and his image rather than what he was doing. It's easy to understand where he was coming from. You even understand where he was coming from. He did not come from a place of hate. He did not come from a place of harm. But what are they doing? They want to ruin this guy's image. Because of what? Because he is a guy who thinks outside the box, and he is a guy that goes against the norms and wants to shed light about the secret societies of America, secret societies of the world, and try to shed light about people who are spreading love and not stop trying to ostracize each other for opinions and things like that. I think I read an article about him giving water to some Pakistanians. Like, he's a great human being, and I think right now it's just a perfect opportunity for people to try to diminish his image.
Can I speak on this for a hot second?
Please
Mm-hmm.
do.
The brother that's a Jew, this is the type of conversation that needs to be had on a national level, because
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
there's levels of ignorance that go out that people never get a chance to address. Because if one thing is said, the word anti-Semitic comes up, and that shuts everything down, because that's been portrayed as this such negative and vile and evil thing. The problem is, like, I'm listening to you, and you freely on here for the whole world to hear admit that you're Ashkenaz, right? So anybody that can process, anybody that can research, could go right and say, where did Ashkenazi Jews come from? And when they research it, they're going to find out that Ashkenaz did not come from Shem. They came from Japheth. There's three lines that you have to come from. You coming from Ham, you coming from Shem, or you coming from Japheth. And you admitted you're an Ashkenazi Jew, which I believe. But you came from the line of Japheth. If you go back,
That's not relevant though. It's not even relevant. It's not relevant at all. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm Jewish or not. It's not relevant.
Hold on, bro. I listen to you. It is relevant because when you use a word like anti-Semitic, that is coming from being anti against the line of Shem.
Would you rather I say,
brother?
like,
hold on, bro. I never cut you off.
No, I know. But I'm saying, if I use the word anti-Semitism, would you rather say like anti-white Jew? Would you rather say that? Okay.
Bro. This is the stuff that happens. This is the ignorance that goes forth. When the truth starts to come out, it gets suppressed. This is what they're trying to do to Kyrie. They want to suppress this level of truth that's in that movie. I actually know the man personally. They wrote the books and did the movie. I know him personally. I've had him for years. But if you do any research yourself, you're admitting you're Ashkenazi, and I believe you. But when you look up, where did Ashkenazi Jews come from? What line are they from? They came from the seed of Japhet. So that does not make them Shemitic or Semitic. And that's where the problem comes. That's why he's saying, how could I be anti-Semitic when I know who I am? I am from the line of Shem. So how can I be against myself? That's what he's saying. And now Jews will say, like you just said, well, that's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. Yes, it does, because now truth is being presented to the world. And Jews don't want that truth out there, because that word anti-Semitic would have zero power when they realize the people using it are not Semitic. They're not from Shem. You just admitted that. You can go to Genesis 10 and see that the Ashkenaz and the Sephardim, they came from Japhet. Now, you'd be better off saying I'm anti-Japhet, but that don't have the backing that anti-Semitic has. That is so negative. Once that's said, all conversation is shut down. Everybody needs to be in this apology mode and counsel mode, and you need to be trained on how not to be sensitive and all that. It's just truth. But nobody wants to hear this truth. So then you ask yourself, why? Why is this truth being suppressed? Why is it being suppressed? Do you deny the fact that you come from the line of Japhet? Or do you know that you came from the line of Japhet? Do you know who Japhet is?
I'm telling you, that's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. It has nothing to do with genetics. It has nothing to do with real history. It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant.
Did y'all hear what he just said? I'm sorry. Did y'all hear what he just said? He said it has nothing to do with real history. That's what he just said.
The Bible isn't real history. We know that. It's stories.
Where do you get, hold on, what does the word anti-Shemitic mean then, my friend? What does it mean?
A Semite is from, it's very easy.
Where does Semite come from?
It does, again, like, it's irrelevant.
It's a line of people.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
The word comes from a line of people. Quote unquote, so the chosen people.
Would you rather, okay. No, this is a serious question. What would you rather the term people use then? Because there is hatred against Ashkenazi people.
Hold on, bro.
100%.
Hold on, bro. I don't need a term. The proper term would probably be anti-Japhet, because that's the line you came from. You didn't come from Shem. But see,
that's fine then.
But here, hold on, bro.
Look, I'll take that. That's fine. I don't believe that, but that's fine.
Hold on, bro. Japhet is not from the chosen line of people. Shem, that line is the chosen line of people. That's the chosen people of Yah. That's the chosen people of God. Hold on. You just said it. You just said it. I heard your words. The Bible is not real history.
It's not real.
But the word, the anti-Semitic comes from the Bible.
No, it comes from a word that's in the Bible.
I got you. Okay. All right. So you use a Bible term to defend yourself as a people, but we don't believe in the Bible.
I'm not using the
I want people to understand. I want people to make sense out of this.
I'm saying if you don't like the term anti-Semitic.
No, bro.
No. If you don't like it to refer to Jewish people, okay. I don't believe that, but
I'm Shemitic. I know I am. I know who I am. So I don't have a problem with it. The problem is
you do though, because you don't like the term. The people who don't like Jews are not referring to you though. They're not referring to you. You know
they are, because they're using my line. I'm from the Shemitic line.
They didn't kill 6 million of your people in the Holocaust. It didn't happen. It didn't happen, and you know that.
Let me ask you this: How many of my people you think got killed in the transatlantic slave trade?
Irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You're just doing whataboutism. It's irrelevant. They didn't kill you because of your race. They didn't kill you because of your race. They enslaved you, but not.
No problem.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
I think the people can see where the issue lies. When the real facts hit the table, the instant word from your mouth multiple times has been it's irrelevant.
You're talking about stuff that was invented in like the 1980s or 70s. It's like not real. It's not real.
He said it's not real. All right, my brother.
It's not real.
Cool. We can get back.
I know you've done your research, but it's not real, and we all know this. You just didn't have a Jewish person on to tell you that, and you probably never met a Jewish person. It's fine.
I do a lot more than research.
I didn't want to do an argument like this, like, as I knew you would come against me, and we're never going to agree.
If you actually notice, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not amped up about it. I'm saying to you, there's ignorance surrounding the word anti-Semitic. And the ignorance is when the truth about that word comes out, Jews want to suppress it. Ashkenazi Jews like yourself, Sephardim Jews like your brethren, they want to suppress that. They don't want that level of truth coming out. And there's ignorance behind that word. All you have to say is this person anti-Semitic. Now the world's going crazy. That's what the brother above you was
I don't think Kyrie's anti-Semitic.
The brother above you was just talking about that. This man didn't say a word. All he did was make a post. And all these assumptions and accusations have come on him to degrade his character. The movie has a lot of information. Hold on. The movie documentary has a lot of information about who he is as an individual, where his true history comes from. But see, coming from an Ashkenazi Jew, like you are, because you admitted that, that's what you said you are.
You make it sound like I'm like a criminal because I said I was an Ashkenazi Jew. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
Bro, you admitted to being that. And you want to suppress that truth because you will get on here and you just said it. The Bible's not real. It's not real history. You know what? It's my history, though. It is real history. You don't see it as that, but it's a Hebrew book. It is.
Of course, it's a Hebrew book.
It's the
but did you grow up as a Hebrew?
Yes.
No, you probably grew up as a Hebrew.
Yes.
And why is everybody else around you who grew up as a Christian? Bro, different, completely different.
Hey, what's your? I'm sorry, I don't even know your name. I don't want to keep.
I'm Aaron.
Aaron, and I'm Rufus. I'm Elder Rufus. You can go to my channel, Straightway Georgia. Straightway Georgia.
I've seen your channel. I've seen your channel.
Well, you know what I grew up in. Then you see how we.
I know. It's different.
You see how
it's different. It's different. People are different. I just don't think we're ever going to agree, and I also don't think this is like an amazingly productive dialogue.
Again, though, I'm trying to tell you, it's the suppression of the truth is where the problem comes. The ignorance behind this word. Y'all want to say it and just expect the whole world to accept it to be what you say it is. That's not facts, though.
Okay, let's not even address the anti-Semitic stuff. All right, but
I appreciate you checking my page out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, got to do your research.
Yep.
There's the one thing. Like,
go ahead.
There's Holocaust denial in that movie. So, like,
that's what.
I don't know.
Hey, Aaron, I got the documentary. That's what someone told you. You didn't see that in the movie. I promise.
I literally saw the screenshot. The Holocaust did not happen. The murder, I literally saw the
exaggeration of what happened in the Holocaust. That's what the movie speaks on.
It's the same thing as Holocaust.
That's what it speaks on.
It's literally the same thing. And that type of
thing. That's not the same thing, bro.
But let me. This is really important, though. That type of thinking makes it seem, and you makes it.
Hey, my brother. At one time in history,
it makes them look like others.
My brother. At one time in history, it was said that only 2 million people got killed in the Holocaust. How are we at 6 million now? That's an exaggeration.
It's very easy. No, not even close.
I got you.
All right, Shaw.
It's okay. Like, I don't think he and I are ever going to agree on this. But like, I'm glad someone could come over from talking to my side because and also ridiculous things. But
I appreciate that you guys were able to come on and express your perspectives. I know that last episode there was it felt like there was a lot of kind of from one side of the spectrum, and you want to come up and share the other side, and we appreciate that you're able to come up and do that. That's why Players Choice exists, man. You guys are able to come up here and make yourselves heard. So thank you.